today is Tune In Tuesday, and we are going to do a chair yoga practice. And at the end, we'll offer, if anybody feels like it, to do a few standing practices, but no obligation. Just listen to your body, how you're showing up today. We can take it from there. A chair yoga practice, and we're just beginning by sitting back in our chair or couch or wherever we are and just softening into the surface and really just noticing where our body touches the surface, or maybe our feet are planted on the floor. And let's take a moment to connect with our breath. Just feeling it flow in and out. Just taking this moment to settle and pause. And the intention here is for your breath to guide you and to really help you explore this experience of your body with curiosity and kindness. And just remember that you're in charge of your experience. So if at any time you feel it's not wise for your body, any of the instructions that I might give, it's like, nah, I don't think so. You can always return to any posture, just like this posture right here, where we're just sitting and relaxing and grounding in, and just return to the breath. This is all about supporting you and your body and your journey. That said, let's get started. So maybe beginning to sit up just a little taller. And if you can, just slide forward a little bit in your chair. Feet are planted on the ground, hip width distance apart. And maybe your arms are resting on your side, at your side. And as we begin to get ready, we'll just take our arms up in a breath in. And when we get to the top, we're just going to stay here for a moment, and we're going to stretch one arm a little higher than the other. So we're getting a nice stretch through the side body here. On the breath out, we're releasing that, and we're stretching the other arm up. Feeling that until you're ready to take a Mignon. It's picking up your arm up and letting that go. Let's do that one more time on each side. So taking a breath in. And breath out, just bringing your arm down a little bit and bringing your other arm. Remember, we don't want to be striving here. We just want to reach over and feel a slight stretch through the sides. And then we'll lower our arms and just take a breath out. This is just the beginning of our practice here. And so now let's raise our arms to the sky one more time in a big circle. And we're going to take, well, you can't really see, so I'll lower my hands for a minute just so you can see, but up there, up high, you're going to just take your wrists around. Yeah, in one way and then in the opposite way. It feels okay. You can look up at your wrists as well, but if it doesn't feel good for your neck, then you can look straight ahead. And again, we'll take a breath out, coming back down, and just notice how this feels a little bit to open up some of the intercostal muscles here. And now let's take a little bit of a mini cat and cow. So what this looks like, this is not big at all. This is like mini. So what it really looks like is just taking one hand on your stomach and one hand on your back. And just so you can feel that what's happening here. And all it's really done is you're going to tilt your hips forward just a little bit so your back arches. And then you're going to go forward. And you're going to go just kind of back and forth like this, slowly arching your lower back and then flattening your lumbar spine. It's kind of like a pelvic rock if you've ever done that. It's very small and gentle because we're just getting started. We'll do a bigger one, in a bit, but maybe try breathing with the arch as well. So breathing in when you're coming into cow and breathing out when you're coming more into that cat. And just do this slowly and at your own pace. We're just really getting the spine ready for a little more action. And when you're finished, just come back to a neutral spine and pause here for a moment and just notice what it feels like to release a little bit of tension in this area. So let's move on to our legs, doing a few leg movements. So if you can draw, so you take your left foot or whatever foot you want, and you ground that foot into the floor. And you're going to draw your right knee up. I got to see if I can bring this camera down here. Draw your right knee up. Oh, no, you can't. It keeps changing. I wish I knew how to. Okay, maybe if I go even further back. Okay, camera, you better just follow me. AI or whatever's following. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Hello. You're gonna draw your knee up. And just stay here for a moment. We're gonna really flex our hips. Can you even hear me? You can? Wow. Okay, we're gonna take that knee and we're gonna do some circles. So we're kind of tracing some imaginary circles on your ceiling and giving that hip a little stretch. We're going to go in both ways. So as soon as you've done 4 or 5 in one way, take that knee around to the other way. Nice and gently and slowly, giving a little attention to our lower limbs here. And then we're going to gently release that knee and leg, and we're going to take up the other one. So your hands can either go under your thighs or they can go below the knee, just not on the knee joint. And so just hold here for a moment, kind of getting your hip ready, and then just start those wonderful circles. You might notice that there's one hip that's tighter than the other. Our hips are where we hold a lot of tension. And also we sit a lot, and that can be hard on the hips, whether it's your job or just, just in our daily life. And so we want to get those hips moving. It's also an area where we can hold emotion too. So trying to release anything that is there. Nice. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can come back now. Good thing my chair's on rollers. So just seeing what that feels like, after we've done that a little bit. All the time, it's really cool to see like what comes up, if there's any emotion or thoughts that are associated, that maybe an old story, maybe, something you're predicting. So it's kind of a cool little practice now. And so now we're going to sit with our feet planted again, aligned with our hips, palms resting on our thighs. And we're going to do a bigger version of that cat and cow. So this just kind of look like, my goodness, this camera's just, I'm going to go back again. All right, here we go. Okay, so it's kind of, I'll even do it from the side here. So your arms are kind of like this. So your palms are facing, but they're on your legs. And so this can be actually a bigger movement. This might look more like your traditional, this is the cat. And we're really going to move more now that it's a little stretched out into cow, but just slowly going back and forth, using your arms as leverage and really feeling more of that spinal wringing out and spinal, release, making your head drop all the way down in between. And this is really slow movement, as slow as you can and feel comfortable with. And it doesn't have to be a big one either. We might be making bigger movements, but you don't need to. Just make it at your own pace. What feels good in your spine? Often we don't take the time to, really release this and, give the spine a little bit of a massage. So chin lowers, stomach comes down. Sorry, forgot to mention the breathing that can be helpful on the way in and the breath on the way out. And when you feel like you have done that enough times, again, let's just settle for a moment, taking in the experience of that. It's really interesting to know what muscles are used for that and ones that don't need to be used, and the difference in the feeling of that. So now let's just sit back a little bit more, and we're going to straighten both of our legs. So now our ankles are touching the floor. So it's kind of like, your legs are straight out. Do I need to go back again? I'll be right back. Okay. So it's kind of like, oh my goodness, I really do have to go back far. Oh, and it's still not in. Okay. It's like this. Your legs are as straight out as they can be. Coming back. And so you're going to need to make a room a little bit in front of you. And again, please take this however it feels okay for you, but we're going to do a forward bend just to get a little stretch in. And so we're going to lean our head toward our knees. You can put your hands on your legs and sort of move them down your legs as you move forward. And just fold as much and as slow as you can, as much as feels comfortable for you. And then when you're down, just taking a breath up and down here. And then taking a breath before you move. And with the movement coming back up, placing your hands up your thighs as you move back up into a, vertical position. And just notice any reactions in your body to this experience. No judgments, just noticing what's happening. And we'll do this one more time, but this time we're going to take it extra slow. So taking a breath in and going forward. If it's okay with your head, you don't get dizzy, and only going as far as your body is telling you to go. That might not be far at all, and that's fine. When you're here, taking a moment to settle in this position, you can even take a breath in and a breath out, seeing if there's a little more room to go, but if not, that's fine. And taking one breath in, and on the exhale, coming back up slowly, rising until you are back up to a seated position. Sitting tall again, aligning your hips and taking your hands and kind of placing them on the chair or the seat in front of you. And now, this is an interesting one. We're going to kind of sit back in our chair. So we got a little lumbar support. Hands can be resting on the chair arms if you have them, or just right down in front of you, especially if you want to grip the bottom of your chair, because we're going to raise one leg and we're going to keep one leg planted on the ground. But we're going to raise one leg so that it's kind of parallel with the knee that is down. So the knees are the same. It's just that one leg is going straight up like this. So it's like this, down. And we're going to reach that same arm of the leg that's down up. And we're going to hold here for a moment, or as long as it feels okay for you. And just see what it's like to only use and activate the muscles on the right-hand side. Breathing in and out just to relax into this position. And when you're ready, you just take a final breath in, and on the exhale, you release all the different parts of that. When we're doing this, we really do activate both sides of our brain, because now we're going to do the other side. And let's see what that's like. And you can get curious about, if one side is more challenging or not. So we're going to take a breath in. And we're just going to raise our left leg momentarily, putting it straight out while the other right leg is, down on the floor. You can use your hands if you need the support to get that left leg to go straight out. I'm going to take a breath in here, a breath out, and then we're going to raise our left arm up in the air. And we're just going to relax into this posture. Again, noticing what muscles are being used, what muscles in your right side don't need to be used and can relax during this. Breathing in and out. And when you're ready, taking a deeper breath in. And on the exhale, letting that go. These exercises are designed to, give some a little bit of balance, because you don't even realize, even though we're sitting, the balance is needed for us to do these, so they can be more approachable if you can't do the standing exercises. Again, we talked about balancing poses and how they can be really great at shifting when our mind is going. And so if we get into a play where you go, oh, I got to worry about my balance here. There's so much going on between both sides of my brain and my body. I don't have time to keep that ruminating up. I don't have, my brain is not going to keep going in that way. So let's just go back to our chair one more time with the support, sitting back, relaxing our face, relaxing our neck and shoulders, legs and arms, and connecting to the breath and body, just feeling a sense of this rippling of relaxation moving down from the crown of your head all the way down through the body, down your legs to your feet, which are grounding you as though they had roots underneath them, right into the ground, the earth, and it's supporting you. Just take a pause here. We just have a few more movements that we'll do, but a mindful pause is always a really great idea in the middle of a practice. So now let's go into a spinal twist. So we're going to begin by sitting tall. Spine is long, feet are planted if they can't be on the ground, hip width distance again. And you're going to reach your arms up to the ceiling, palms facing each other. And just we're going to it's like we take a big stretch here, breathing in. And as you breathe out, we're going to turn our belly, chest, and face to one side, wrapping our right arm around the back of the chair if you can, or just in back of you. And your left arm is going to go on your thigh, your right thigh. And we're going to follow our gaze over our right shoulder, just as much as feels comfortable for you. And we're going to take a moment to breathe here. Breathing in and out in this posture. It's a little hard to breathe because we're in a spinal twist, but taking a breath in. And to come out of this, we raise our hands first, and then we twist our body back to center, taking a moment here to breathe in. And on the breath out, we're going to move our face, chest, and torso over to the other side, wrapping our left arm around the chair, putting our right hand on our left thigh, and we're going to take our gaze now over the left shoulder. Just seeing what the perspective is from this angle. For doing that orienting practice, we can see what's behind us, seeing safety, noticing what's familiar in our space as we breathe in and out. And when you're ready to come out, you lift your arms again, and then your torso, face, and everything follows. And when we do this, we're never straining or striving. We're just keeping it to whatever is available in our body. So bringing the arms down slowly and coming back into our seated mountain pose, as they call it. So we're going to do one more before we just end with some easy ones. And that is, if you can go as far as you can on your chair without, tipping it forward, because we're going to bring our arms behind our backs right here and clasp our hands. We're just going to do a chest opener if that's possible. So it's like you're clasping your hands behind you, you're looking up, or, like not quite up to the ceiling, but, maybe to the crown molding or whatever, where the ceiling meets the wall. And we're just going to take a little stretch here. Sometimes it feels good to rock in this position as well, seeing what it feels like to open our hearts, to get a little more room across the chest, because we're always so hunched over at work or the things that we're doing. And just take a moment to see what this feels like. Breathing in, breathing out, just letting your chest and shoulders draw back. Nice. And we'll release our hands, kind of bring them forward like we're going to go take a big dive in to the ocean. And that's always a nice release for the shoulders at the end. And we're also going to actually sit up and do a shoulder release. So we're going to bring our shoulders up, going around, and then coming in the back, nice and slow. As we know, this is such a great area of tension. So right now we're just leaning in, letting go, seeing what things are ready to be released in this area. Maybe, tension we didn't even know we're holding. And when you're done with going one way, to take it the other way as well. Nice. Doesn't that feel good? And we're going to just take the final pose. It's just going to be loosening our neck. So tilting our head to the right shoulder, being gentle and kind, really leaning in for a moment for a breath. So if there is anything we can release on one side, it has time to release. You may even feel the side that's being stretched. Sometimes it's just so tight that you want to take a little massage down that where the carotid artery is, releasing a little bit of lymphatic drainage while we're here and just making it feel good and nourishing. That can consist of brushing or circles or tapping even. And we'll bring our head back up, taking a breath here to see what that feels like. And taking the ear to the other side. And if you want, doing the same action with your other hand on your neck. There's usually one side that's just a little tighter than the other. And it's just an interesting exploration here. Nice. Pause, and when you're ready, you can bring your head up. And now just moving your head and shoulders in whatever way might need a little bit more support. Whatever feels good. Some people like to go the full, like, exorcist. Um, Other people like a nice, slow, steady sway. Whatever it seems like your body is intuitively calling for you. Nice. Okay, so let's sit back again, relaxing in our chair. And now let's just let the support just ground you here. Feeling the weight of your body as it's held here. And let's take a full breath in and release that breath as slowly and as gently as we can. It might feel good now to close your eyes. Becoming more aware of the sensation in your body after this movement practice. Bringing awareness to your thoughts about the practice, thoughts about what's coming next in your day, other thoughts that might be coming and going in your mind. You may be experiencing emotions too, of course. Maybe there's joy. Maybe there's frustration. Maybe there's happiness or anger. Just see what's here without judging or labeling them as pleasant or unpleasant, good or bad. And instead, just try looking at them from a lens of curiosity and kindness. Now let's just take one final deeper breath in. And just let that go slowly. And just bring your breath back to a normal breathing pattern. This has been an awareness practice, bringing attention to your sensations, thoughts, and emotions as they arrive with the movement. So thank you for joining me.